So good morning here, and that may be too late in Pakistan. I just got up now, and today I will discuss some very philosophical kind of stuff. So I wish you people are there listening to me, and basically the journey of knowledge, that is quite interesting. And the journey of knowledge is the journey of humanity. So first I will talk to you some general thing, then I will come on the topics, which were the topics of assignment in essay group. So I will talk to you for like 10-15 minutes, and then you may ask questions, and I will try to answer those questions. Typically, humanity started its journey of knowledge and development from the stone era, which we also call Neolithic era, in which the people, they were like 7,000 years or 9,000 years or maybe 15,000 years old. The people, they were living in forest and jungles and woods and deserts, and they were living like animals, but they were talking to each other, and they had some feelings, and they had some desires similar to animals, like food and clothes and sex and other desires. Then they were like animals, they don't use their brain, they don't use their rationality. So then they invented fire, and after that they had some better taste of food, and after that they were like they started thinking that what about this universe, where from this universe came, and this world and all these material things that they would see. So they started thinking over it, and they had no explanation. So then they thought religious ideas, that there may be someone which is more powerful than humans, and that entity, which may be one entity or many entities, that entity invented or created this universe. And we consider this as a religious idea. So religion was, after the stone era, the next product. And after the religion, when the people thought that, okay, there may be a supernatural entity. Supernatural means beyond nature, beyond matter. There is something which is not visible, and that entity, that existence, controls, creates, manages. And some people say that there is only one entity, one God, monotheism, and others say no, polytheism, because one cannot do so many things. So for fire, there is one God, and for desert, there is another, and for sun, there is another. So then this was an easy way to understand the universe. For example, you have, I'm not reading your comments now, so I will be focusing later on. You can ask questions. You can just like my discussion. I'm just trying to prepare a background for the essay topics. So this was an easy way. Now, for example, a driver. There is a driver, and the driver is running the car. So there are two ways. One, you have to understand the whole mechanistic structure of the car, that how each and every part works. And the other way is that you are just driving, you are just enjoying, and you are not going in details that how this car has been manufactured. So if you go in those details, it's a very difficult process. It is not easy just to understand a small machine. It is not possible. So how you can understand this whole universe? That is totally, something very difficult. So man, just, okay, I will be driving, I will be eating, I will be drinking, I will be enjoying my life, and I will say there is a God, and there is a a creator, and that creator is also doing everything for us. So why should I go in details? So after the religion era came the era of enlightenment. In the 16th, 17th centuries, there was enlightenment. Enlightenment means that reason, thought, that is, and in the 20th century, that is the century of philosophy. That reason, we should understand that why this thing is going on. We should not just simply believe things and the things should happen. So philosophy came after religion. And then men wanted to understand this apparatus, why this thing is going on, or how we should touch each and every part. And then science was developed. So, and when you had religion, philosophy, and science, so then you felt that you are too much mechanical, too much structural. So there should be some essence, there should be some meaning, some deep meaning of this life. It is just not like a mechanic understanding the car, but there should be something beyond this. So again, the circle was completed, and now that circle we call it spirituality. So man is in these four circles: religion, philosophy, science, spirituality. So spirituality then take you back to the religion, and again philosophy and science, and this whole circle. Man is in these circle, and that's why these four are important to understand reality, and these four are important to understand knowledge. What is knowledge? You will be not happy in one of these, because in religion you just believe. Okay, la reba fihi, there is no doubt, no skepticism. You cannot doubt anything. You must take the thing as it is. In philosophy, then you start arguments, you start asking questions. You say why, why. How is more in science. Okay, religion is as it is, philosophy is why, science is how these things happen. And then come spirituality, that which gives you a deep meaning, and then you understand all these three in a holistic way, which is one of the topic, the essay topic that I'm coming to discuss. So now there is enlightenment was there, science came, modernism came. Modernism then challenged even enlightenment, and then they said that human rationality, that is too much important. Everything must be empirical, everything must be experimental, the things must be experimented, we must do things, we must act, and then we can understand. So that was experiment, that was more empirical, that was more scientific. And now postmodernism came, and even it challenged modernism. It challenged modernism. So there are civilizations, some people are still stuck in that stone age. For example, in Brazil, I have been to Amazon forest. And in the Amazon forest, in Colombia, Brazil, and Peru, in these countries, the people are still living as the people who are living in stone era. They just hunt, they bring their food, they eat the food, they sleep, they do sex, they create children, and this is their life. So this is one stage of civilization, which was the stone era. Some people are too religious. They won't listen to you, not a single argument against religion, and they will tell you a religion is everything. Everything is religion, nothing more. So some civilizations, mostly some Muslim and maybe some evangelical Christians, some Jews, they are still in that religious phase. They have not come out of that. Some people are more philosophical, they are more in philosophy, so they are still stuck there. Some are more scientific and more modern. And now the recent one in 21st century, in the last decades of 20th century, we have postmodernism, which challenges everything that we have discussed so far. So that is called postmodernism. So now I will come to your topics, which was an assignment. Yes, Renaissance and Enlightenment. In the Renaissance, Sehrish Khan, then secularism was developed. Religion was separated from politics. The religion is between you and God, how you can involve politics, because politics is sometimes a very dirty game. You cannot involve God in politics. So then that was secularism. Okay, now you can comment, and I will try to discuss these important topics. Topic number 1 in the assignment was literature as a great cultural artifact. So I read some of your attempts that you did, but basically most of you don't understand what is the meaning of the topic, because you don't have, and I request all of you that you must join philosophy group, because if you don't understand philosophy, you will be unable to write essay writing. Essay is totally dependent on philosophy and some of psychology and other social sciences. So now we come to topic number 1. Literature is a great cultural artifact. So if you understand what is literature, what is culture, and what is artifact, then you can write a very good essay on this topic. So literature is aesthetical approach to life in words. When we take the beauty of life and our passions and feelings, so then we call it literature. When we write it, that is called literature. So culture is the abstract form of civilization, the values and the beliefs, what you do, your customs. So that is the abstract form of civilization. Civilization is more material, like buildings, architecture, road, communications. This is civilization, while culture is more like music, your values, beliefs, customs, traditions. That is called culture. So artifact, what is artifact? Artifact with ACT, it is British spelling, and ICT, that is American spelling, American English spelling. So literature as a great cultural artifact means that literature shows your culture. What is artifact? Artifact is something which is of great archaeological value, a great artistic or cultural value. That thing is called artifact. Artifact may be something which you put in museum for more permanent value. That thing is called artifact. Anything. For example, you have a beautiful jar, or you have a beautiful utensil, or you have a machine, you have a car, an old car. So that can be an artifact which the human being constructs, and it gets a permanent value. For example, nature, we have nature. So nature is a permanent value, a beautiful river, a beautiful mountain, that is beautiful. But artifact is made by human being, while nature is made by nature, by God or by any other, as a product of the Big Bang explosion. So literature as a great cultural artifact means that literature reflects your culture. What culture? Now, for example, in Pakistan, you go to a bookshop, so all the people will be reading religious books, okay, Islamic books. Everywhere there will be Islamic books. And then we have, you go to Europe, so you will see a lot of fiction, a lot of novels, a lot of scientific stuff. So the literature, which kind of literature is produced by a society, that shows the culture. So there is a virtuous cycle, an interrelatedness between culture and literature. What kind of literature you see, for example, in Spain? What kind of literature you see in Mongolia? What kind of literature you see in Japan? What kind of literature you see in Karachi? What kind of literature you see in Peshawar? So that reflects that society. So society creates literature, and literature creates society. So literature is a great cultural artifact. When we see culture, so the most important thing of permanent value in any society, that is literature. So here you give the importance of literature. Now, topic number 2, language is a fit data for research in humanities and social sciences. Now, do you know what is language, what is fit data, what is research, what is humanities, and what is social science? Language is the verbal source of communication among human beings. Human being is the only talking animal. Fit data means a data which is really relevant, which may be primary data or secondary data. Research is that when you are searching again and again and you create and you invent something new, that is called research. Humanities was against divinities. The religious sciences in the past, that was divinities. And then the contrast was humanities. What came from God, so that was divine, like Bible and other religious scriptures, those were divinities. And humanities were the human sciences. So at that time, everything was humanity, like philosophy, art, literature, everything which is created by man, that subject was called humanities. But later on, we developed another discipline, which is social sciences, like political science, sociology. These are different sciences, natural sciences. So humanities are now like more art, literature, languages, history, philosophy. These are humanities, while social sciences are sociology, political science, economics. These are social sciences, because in social sciences you have more empiricism, you have more experimental approach, while in humanities you have more like speculative. You are just thinking, you are just creating your own ideas from your own thoughts, but you are not doing any experiment. There is no empirical approach in humanities. So that is the difference between humanities and social science. So now language is both important in humanities, and it is both important in social sciences. And both these things are important. Now, when we say that language is a fit data, so it means that when you try to understand humanities and social sciences, so the development of language. Now, for example, Pashto language, Punjabi language, these languages are not so developed. English language is developed a lot. So how English language developed? The British Empire, the Enlightenment, the secularism, the separation of church and state, the development of philosophy, political thinkers, political philosophers, all these people, who are they? Most of them are English speaking people. And today we see United States, that is the most developed country of the world, the best economy, #1 economy, and the superpower. So automatically, what you will write in Arabic language, for example, you will write Layla Majnoon and maybe a few verses. In Persian language, you have very good literature of Hafiz and Sadi and Rumi, but you don't have any scientific thing like any research. I don't think that in Persian language or in Pashto language you have any book of philosophy. I don't think so. There is a single book of philosophy in Pashto language or in Punjabi language. I don't think so. Maybe Ghani Khan in Pashto, but he's a poet. He did not write any original research in philosophy. So language is a fit data. When you see the language, the work in a language, then you can understand the humanities and social sciences by the language speakers. So here the connection between language, primary data, secondary data, when you do research in humanities, philosophy, and social sciences. So the development of a language, you can see how that nation, how those people, the speakers of that language, are developed. The next topic, privatizing higher education, generating knowledge, or making more money for the opulent. Many people have written just on education. Here it is higher education. Higher education is university education. This is not like primary education or secondary education. So just focus on higher education, because in university, even in Canada, primary and secondary education, that is totally free. Only higher education, when you go to university, so there they will get $30,000 from you per year, even in the government universities. So higher education, if it goes to private sector, so private sector means money. They will create, they will invent such situation in which there will be more and more money. So is it something good or it is something bad? So you can go against this topic and you can be in the favor. For example, in United States, higher education is done by private, some of the private universities, but they are delivering good. If you have money, why not you pay for education, especially for higher education, which is important for your career, which is important for your knowledge. Or if you say that this is the responsibility of state, that state must provide higher education, primary education, secondary education to the people, then you can go against this topic. I don't see any problematic area in this topic, but please focus on higher education. Please focus on privatization and knowledge, money, business. You have to, and you can also suggest that higher education must be in the hand of philosophers, in the hands of professors, in the hands of knowledgeable people, intellectuals, not just businessmen. Because there are many schools and many universities run by just businessmen. They only focus on the number of students, quantity, money. So it should be also a scholarly venture, not just business. Number 4, women sports persons are new ambassadors of the soft image of Pakistan. So this is gender sensitization, and we consider in some societies that women are only for the 4 walls of the house, and when a woman with covered face cannot participate in any sport. So when Pakistani women, they go to international competitions, and women and men both are with the gender equity or gender equality, they participate like human beings. They don't participate like just men or women. So then we can see that women participation can be ambassadors. Now you must understand here that what is ambassador? Ambassador is a person who represents a country. Representation is very much important here. Representation, when you represent a society, a country, so then you go to reflect that society. And how you can represent a country if you understand that that country, and how you represent that country. If you, both male and female, they become the representatives of those countries. I lost the list of the topics here which I was discussing, so I'm searching for that. If you can help me finding out the topics. Okay, yeah, I got it back. Thank you. Many people are sending me these messages, so I get disturbed. So women sports persons are new ambassadors. Sports persons, here the word person is very important. Look, you can challenge sportman. We always say sportsman spirit. Why not sports women? So even the word sport person is so much important here, that the women are also persons. Not only men are persons, but women are also persons. And when they go, they participate. So the people will not think that women in Pakistan are only for kitchen or bedroom. They can also participate in playgrounds. So this will make a soft image of Pakistan. Pakistan is a hard power. We have number 1 military in the world, not number 1 in a sense, but very good military. We are a hard power. We are a middle power. But soft power is a big problem for Pakistan. People think that Pakistani people, they are still living in Stone Age. they are still living only in the religious era, that women will be just restricted to particular activities according to the injunctions of a religion. But if they go and they participate in sports activities, so this will give a soft image, means that people will think that Pakistan is culturally rich. And when you are culturally rich, then both men and women, they participate in activities. Now come a very important topic. If I would be in your place, I will write this topic: postmodern ethos, a challenge to the West. This is a very, very important topic. Postmodernism. Postmodernism is the latest philosophy and the latest criticism which challenges everything so far done by humanity. Everything. So philosophy, including modernism, including enlightenment, they say that everything is relative, everything is social, everything is individual. Nothing, you cannot construct things. Deconstruction. Post-structuralism. When you come to the philosophy group, you will understand these terms, that the things, you cannot make structures. You cannot say the whole of Pakistan, you cannot say the whole Muslims, whole Muslim Ummah, you cannot say the whole Europe, you cannot say the whole West. Okay, you cannot say that we have reached to the end of history and there will be now clash of civilizations and there is no civilization. You cannot say that everything you can group together. No, everything is relative, everything is not absolute, everything is not group, is not structure, is not construction, it is deconstruction. It is like we have metabolism. So there is metabolism, there is catabolism, and there is anabolism. So catabolism, destroy everything. Desynthesization, analyzation. You analyze things, you destroy things, and then you construct something new. So postmodernism is a very interesting theory. And ethos means, ethos is not just ethics. Ethos is the spirit of a culture, the spirit of a society, the spirit of a country. That is called ethos. So postmodern ethos means the after modernity, after modernization, after modernism, the latest trend in philosophy, criticism, literature, art, that is postmodernism, which is challenged even to West, because West was talking about modernism, West was talking about enlightenment, West was talking about secularism, West was talking about separation of church and state. But now postmodernism challenges everything. So even it is a challenge to West. But this is not only challenge to West, but also to East, because West is influencing East. That's why postmodernism is not only challenge to the West, but also to the East. We will discuss more in this topic. It's a very deep topic, and we will discuss it in the philosophy, in my lectures in philosophy. Look to the East for a holistic progress. Now, holistic progress, holistic, holism. Holism means all together, all inclusive, comprehensive, everything including. That is called holistic. For example, as I told you, the Stone Era, then religion, then philosophy, then science, then spirituality, then again, some people even they want to go to Stone Age. You will be astonished that in the development of society, now the people, they want back Stone Age. They want to go to jungles, they want to eat and drink, and they want, nihilism. There are a lot of philosophies, nihilism, animalism. Now the people, they want to lead hedonism. There is another philosophy, hedonistic approach, that we just are here for pleasure, enjoy, be an animal. And you might have seen in pornography, different kinds of sex now, group sex, and even what is that called, incest, INCEST, family kind of sex. And there are new things which the man is going back to Stone Age, and they want to be more there are some positive things and some negative things. Positive things is that they want to eat only organic natural food. I had a friend, and that friend would not eat anything except the fallen fruit fallen from the trees. would go here and there and would search for the only fallen fruit, would not kill, not an insect, would not kill any any living organism, including plants. If the fruit was fallen, so then they have to eat, otherwise no. So man is going back again to the nature, to the basics of nature. So this is very interesting development. Now east means like India, Pakistan, Middle East doesn't have any good civilization, but you can east, when we take Japan, maybe China, so that is east. That is there is a lot of attraction in Confucianism, Taoism, Shintoism, Buddhism, Jainism, Sufism. This is east. So in the east you have holistic approach. Holistic approach means that you just not only earning money, or you are not going getting scientific development and a lot of mechanical or other developments, but also you need enrichment of your soul inside you, your spirituality. That is also important. So this is east. So in the China or Japan, for example, you have artificial development, as well as you have nature, you have family values, you have morality, you have ethics. So why not we go to east for holistic progress, not just only mechanical material development, but also spiritual, religious, Sufi, Taoism, and other. If you must understand all these terms, we will discuss this in comparative study of religions. Great nations win without fighting. So this is a very important topic again. This is against war, because people think that war is necessary, but they said that I was in Argentina, and one of the delegation told the Argentinian foreign minister that we can sell you a lot of arsenals and a lot of weapons. So they said, no, democracy is our best defense. We are a democratic country, and we don't have any problem with any country, with any of our neighbors. We have settled all our boundaries, all our frontiers. So we don't need any kind of arsenals. Even in Switzerland, there is no army. And Switzerland is one of the best countries of the world. If you go to Scandinavian countries, Norway, Finland, Denmark, so there also, you don't have any kind of war. So, but still they are great nations. Can meaning be fixed? such a beautiful topic, this. Can meaning be fixed? I will discuss this in English language group. Meaning, when it is fixed, then it is called definition. So you can fix meanings. For example, in legal terminology, when you go in criminology and you fix a meaning of a word, so then it becomes fixed. You cannot change the meaning. And for example, literal meaning, like this laptop, this mobile. So what is the meaning of this word here? Literal meaning, that is fixed. Stone is stone. But metaphorical meaning, figurative meaning, idiomatic meaning, those meanings cannot be fixed. That depends on the person. But, and then we have pragmatics, the branch of linguistics in which we study meaning in context. That irony, for example, one negative word can be positive, positive can be negative. So meaning can be fixed when you define in a legal terminology. For example, you say in legal terminology murder. So murder or death sentence, this meaning is totally defined, and there is a legal connotation, a legal understanding, and you cannot change. If you change it, then the judge will be unable to decide fate of the case. So yes, meaning can be fixed, but you can challenge also this topic that no, everybody has its own meaning according to the topic. So that depends on the person, on the context, on the situation. So meaning cannot be fixed. This is a linguistics topic, and also this is a topic of philosophy. The character of a nation can be judged by its symbolic narratives. Narratives are allegories and examples, stories. Okay. Now, what are our stories? Dev to Raban, Bahrami Gor. These are the stories of Pashtun that I was listening to, these stories from my grandmother. So what kind of stories we are narrating to people? Okay, are we narrating stories of religion? We are narrating stories of science, spirituality, philosophy. What are the contents of our stories? Mythology, myths, Greek mythology. What kind of narrations we have? So then that narration shows the grandeur, the majesty, the statelyhood, the greatness, the magnificence of a nation. So what are the symbols that we are using? What kind of symbols we are using in our stories? For example, you can philosophically argue, you can give arguments, and you can also narrate stories by giving different symbols. What are your symbols? Like, for example, such as Sarmastar, Sasi Panu, and Arif Lohar kind of people, what kind of narratives they are using in while they are narrating stories? What are the symbols? What are the allegories? What examples we give in our stories that show our character? What kind of, if you are using a lot of sex symbols, so you are more erotic kind of nation. If you are using more spiritual, so then you are more spiritual. You are using more philosophical terminologies in your stories, then you are more philosophical. Violence is the last refuge of the incompetent. So now, after this discussion, you can ask me questions if you have any question. I read some of your things, but the problem is that you need a lot of understanding, your own understanding. Your understanding is really important, and also your vocabulary, because essay writing, that is more like sentences, and those sentences are made of words, your vocabulary. So when you connect all these things together, then you can become a very good essay writer. So please focus on your language. That is, I'm very much worried about your language, because essay writing needs a lot of knowledge, a lot of approaches. For example, an incompetent person will go and fight, because there will be no uh, there will be no argument, just fighting, just there will be using the body. Okay, can you use your tongue? Can you use your language? Can you use words while fighting? Or you are using your hands, your arms, you're fighting this and that? So this is logic. Logic is the study of valid arguments. What are the valid arguments? How you can make an argument in a way that the other person understands that. And this is called critical thinking. Critical thinking means that when you take a position and you have your own understanding, and you are in the favor or against a topic, and you prove it with valid arguments, then that is called critical thinking. So a critical thinker will never come on fighting. Critical thinker will always give valid arguments, substantial approach. So then that is called, there is no need of fighting. Why you will fight? Why you don't have some? But all these things happen in those philosophies, in those societies which are based on philosophy and spirituality, religion, but not dogmatic religion. Dogma is fanaticism. The things are constructed. Constructionism, structuralism. There are fixed structures in your mind. You don't go here and there. You are not. There is no flexibility. So then you will fight. When there is no flexibility, when there is no elasticity, so then the only outcome will be fighting. Namudi Sahar, how can we deal with the topic gender sensitization? So in this topic, you have two words, gender and sensitization. So you must understand these two words. What is gender and what is sensitization? Gender is the role which is given to a sex by society. Male sex, female sex, third sex, fourth sex, fifth sex. There are 5 sexes. Usually we think that there are only 2. So what role is given to these sexes by society, that is called gender. Now, how much we are sensitized. Sensitized means that how much our mind, our central nervous system accepts that role of that person. For example, if female is only for kitchen and bedroom, so this is a gender, a role by society given to a female, and male only working and getting financial resources, and he will be a bread earner, and she will be a cook, and she will be cooking. So these roles, if how much we are sensitized that these women can also earn money. Sensitized means how much we are conscious, how much consciousness we have, how much knowledge we have about this situation. Some people will be not sensitized, and they will have constructs, they will have structures in their mind that no, female must be in the four walls, and even some religious people will tell you that she must go inside the room to offer the prayers. She should not in the dark, her prayers are better than in light. They will not even allow her to go to mosque and offer prayers with the male members. So these are the society roles that we have given to different genders, different sexes. So gender sensitization, we say that I am sensitized. I understand that gender is society. Gender is not biological. Sex is biological. Sex. You are a female and you are a male. This is biology, because you have different sex organs, you have different hormones, you have uterus, and male doesn't have uterus. That is a reality. You cannot deny. But the role given to you by the society, you are sensitized that there is gender equality or gender equity. What male can do, female can also do the same thing. If male can drive a car, male can drive a truck, male can drive a train, female can also do. And now with development, you have more like this economic development and technological development. Now, driving something is not difficult. You don't have to force a lot. So sensitization means, my own understanding of sensitization is that we should take women as persons and we should take men as persons. What matters is person or personality, not gender. This is called gender sensitization. When you take women as a person, not as male or female, then you are gender sensitized. Sonia Kowal, tongue logic is the study of valid arguments, critical thinking, own arguments, no need of fighting. Exactly, Sonia Kowal. So Sarish Khan, male, female, and transgender. Other two are that some male, they have some female characteristics, because the female hormones, estrogen, I think, that is more, the quantity is more in a male. So he is male biologically, but some kind of female characteristics are also there. And the same is for women. There's some women, they have more male hormones as a usual woman. So then that is fourth and fifth genders. Transgender is that is a definite category of people that you see them, and they are like eunuchs or hijra or muhannas. So those people are transgender. But the usual male, like me, I'm a male and you are a female. So maybe you have something masculine and maybe I have something feminine. So then that is another, we will discuss this in gender group. Sharifullah, sir, is not it too difficult to give a literary color to the topics you have discussed? No, essay is literary. You must give literary touches, and literary touches mean figures of speech. Our Suhail Shahwani is doing tremendous work in the essay group on sensitizing you on figures of speech, how to write idioms and similes and metaphors and personifications and so many other figures of speech he is discussing there. So please take part in that. Sir, what are those 5 categories of gender? Already I discussed. Yeah, hermaphrodites also, that is more in insects, but maybe in human beings there is a kind of mix of both male and female. If gender is social construction of sex, then how can we have gender equality? We should say sex equality. We should talk of human equality, that all the human beings are equal. If you go to United States Constitution, so equality, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. These are their 3 important elements of their constitution. So equality, everyone is equal, everyone in this universe. And if you go to spirituality, so even stone pantheism and wahdatul wajud that we have, wahdatul wajud, this is a very important philosophy. Read about wahdatul wajud. Wahdatul wajud means unity of existence, that existence is one, essence is one. This mobile is also human. There is also a plant is also a living organism. So equality, we are all equal. We have the same consciousness. But so far, society or humanity has not reached to that level to consider a stone. I'm sorry to say this thing, that sometimes, a stone, maybe in the Hindu religion, they consider it important because the stone is also product of the universe, made by God, and that's why that is a symbol, and they represent it as a symbol. They have their own understanding of their religion. We consider, they are like worshipping stones. But there is a great philosophy, which is Wahdatul Wujud, or pantheism. There is another philosophy which is called monism, that we all are equal. So yes, gender equality and sex equality, you can say that male and female, they are equal. And a time will come with the technology development that women will do everything what male can do, everything, construction and digging the whatever you can think, you can imagine. So all the women and all the men will be equal, but that stage is not yet, because men is against women, because women is the ideal human being, and what women has got, male has not got. So male try to control women, because women is totally dangerous to humanity in that sense. If women becomes powerful, if women gets the power, so all the men will be their slaves. I'm just talking in a little exaggerating way, but women are totally dangerous. That is an atom bomb. If you just see one woman in 100 men, so you feel the presence of women. While men by nature are brutal, rough, they are, they superficial. While women, they go in detail. They have more aesthetic touch of life. They are beautiful, and they understand beauty more than men. So gender equality is myth. So you can go against this topic, and you can go in the favor of this topic. For me personally, gender equality is not myth. So you can go against this topic. This is a reality, that gender can be equal, because both are human beings, both have the same body, both have the same morphology, the same physiology. There are some hormones which are different. There are some 6 organs which are different between male and female. But there is now a new study that, like, the female organ and the male organ, the male organ is the advanced development, are a little more developed than the female organ. So physically, physiologically, the feminists are also now trying to prove that male and female, they are one, they are equal. There is no difference between male and female. This is a big challenge to religion, and big challenge to some of philosophies. This new understanding of gender equality. I'm just talking to you in a scholarly manner, but this is an arena this is an area of human understanding and development which is totally catastrophic. Like, it will destroy, it will deconstruct, it will with the new development in science and biology, that but still, you know, men and women, they are different, but they are not, one is not inferior to the other. There is difference, because women, like, they have more hair in their head, while male doesn't have. Male has hair on the, you know, the beautiful part of the face is the body's face, and you have such, you know, hair here, you have hair on your body, so you are not beautiful, you cannot present yourself in that sense as compared to a woman. So some differences you cannot bridge, but other differences, especially the gender differences, you can bridge. So gender equality is not a myth, while sex equality may be a myth, that you just make male and female the same, so that can be a myth. Technology can be a tool to equalize both genders. Otherwise, being on their physical construct, men are likely to win the race. So exactly, Minhas, this is one of the argument that the people are presenting. But if you go to Germany and you see the women there, they are taller, and they are 2 times taller than me, and they are heavy, and they can do everything because they get balanced food, because maybe their Aryan genes coming from their anthropology and genetics and genealogy. Eugenics is another science now, that you can genetic engineering, that you can engineer such genes now which can produce women which will be better than men physically also. So these are very interesting areas, you know, and enjoy these things. Don't take it so serious, just enjoy. Namudi Sahar, in one of your lecture, discuss about the stages of civilization, and we stand at 0 now. What are the next stages? Civilization types. We have civilization type till sex. 0 is now the whole humanity, not only Muslims or Pakistanis. No, I'm not talking, that is the whole humanity. We are in the civilization type 0 because we have not yet tapped the whole energy from sun. Sun is still, you know, not totally tapped. We don't have the total solar energy. Once we have sun in our control totally, then that will be type 1. And when we our Milky Way, we control our whole Milky Way, our galaxy, then that will be type 2. And when we will go to our constellation in astronomy, these are basically in astronomy, these civilization types. So then that is type 3. And we can control the whole universe, this universe, the whole universe, then that is type 4. And when we multi-universes, many universes, then that is type 5. And when we can create our own universe, then that is type 6. That is the last topic. And then, I'm sorry, this is a very dangerous thing religiously. If you think about it, if you can create a universe, then you can imagine what world comes in your mind. So that is totally dangerous thing. We should not go in so much details. But scientists are working on all this. They will have the sun in their control, maybe in 100 years, and maybe in 200, 300, 400 years they have the whole galaxy, and then maybe in 1000 years the whole universe, and maybe in 2000 years multi-universes, and then you can imagine. So we already have concept of. Now, these are not new, but the sensitization, you know, somebody asked about sensitization. Everything exists, but are we sensitized or not? Sensitization, that is important. Sarish Khan, we as a Pakistan nation are in transition phase. We are not developed, but developing a society. Exactly. So transition, as the Europe was in a transition, the whole Muslim world is now in a transition. This is a, you know, enlightenment is coming to the Muslim world, and the people are now discovering philosophy and science other than religion, and then the solution will be spirituality. Otherwise, the young generation totally may have some kind of rebellion against the stereotyped ideas and beliefs. So this is mathematically wrong. What is mathematically wrong? You know, Suhail Shahwani, don't write such sentences. This is mathematically wrong. This is a totally wrong sentence in linguistics. What is mathematically wrong? Write the name. Don't write this, that. Write name of the thing. Don't write pronoun here, or don't write the adjective. Write nouns. When you are write noun, then the meaning can be clear. I'm just going to finish this lecture, so please. I'm totally hungry. I got up now and I have to eat something. So I need some fuel. What is mathematically wrong? So I don't see any comment now. Thank you very much. We will discuss it. I can see this thing again. This list of topics, I don't know. I think it is CSS 2013 paper, essay paper. Highly interesting. If you understand each and every topic, so it will open your panorama. It will open your mind to so many things. These civilization types from zero to so on. Okay. Many people challenge it. Yes, they challenge it, but this is a reality, and you will see that it will be a reality, because now the speed of the civilizational development is so rapid. You know, in the past millions of years, we did nothing. Now, in the past 100 years or 50 years or 10 years, I remember there was no mobile and there was no internet. And now you see, I'm talking to so many people here sitting in Canada. So this is the things are changing, you know, a lot. I was in United States. In the whole store of the big store like Metro store, not a single human being was there. We went, we bought things, we paid with our card, and we came out. Not a single human being. So the things are changing, you know. And the sun, now we are tapping sun, solar energy. That is the future, alternative sources of energy. But a small portion of sun we are now tapping. If we get the whole sun, you can imagine. So these things are okay. I will try to check, and then you can announce the result, Sohail. Please make yourselves flexible, open to the new developments. Otherwise, you will have a big problem. Then you will take a refuge in a cave, and then you will sit in a cave in a dark place, and you will say, okay, there is nothing, like that kabutar, dove in a desert, and then the lion comes and eat. So we must become sensitized. I like the word sensitization. So Sharifullah, you are still in that stage of women are sensitive and women are this and that. But the things are changing, you know, the things are changing. Women should remain women. I myself, I don't recommend that women should become men. No. And men should become women. No. This is not biologically possible. But gender equality is possible, not sex equality. Biological equality may be genetic engineering, but that's still far. Dove in a desert, yes. So please be sensitized. Thank you very much. All the best.